Hey, this is Sky. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Go check out my website at skyazrael.com. Let's talk about being bored. A lot of people spend a lot of time being bored. I know what it's like to feel bored. We all do. I spent most of my childhood sitting around bored to tears. We didn't have any entertainment like you guys have. We didn't have even video games sucked. Only so much of Space Invaders and shit like that you can play. And that might have been one of the reasons why we did so many drugs, to cure the boredom. It's interesting to me when I talk to a grown man who tells me that he is bored. I was at the gym earlier, and a buddy of mine who I chat with when I see him there, he doesn't go as often as I do. He's a nice guy from the Dominican Republic, a little older than me, and he mentioned to me how he is bored in general. He's just bored lately. I said, hey, I can't relate. I don't get bored. And he was just like, how could you not get bored? Everybody gets bored. Not me. And it's not that I'm super busy. I hate being too busy. I hate being busy for just being busy. Just for the sake of being busy. That's just pointless movement. I've had to embrace the idea that there's not as much to do as I think there is. I had one day of nirvana. You know, the idea of nirvana, this idea of bliss. I spent one day in nirvana. One day in heaven. I was in heaven for one day. One day. The entire day, from the time I woke up to the time I went to sleep, it was the happiest day of my life. I'll never forget it. Happened years ago. I was living in the jungles in Los Angeles. I just woke up in this weird mood. I'd never been happy like that before. Not before that, not since. Not with even all my mind, body, and soul work that I do, this daily discipline. I've never had this experience ever. Nothing ever even remotely close to it. I had nirvana for a day. And there was a repeated message. It didn't feel like that I was thinking it, but it was in my head all day long, like a broken record, over and over and over and over. And it made me laugh. Every time I thought it made me giggle. I couldn't even control the giggle. It was like a tickling from the inside, like I'm being tickled. And the message was, there's nothing to do. That was the message. It just said that. It was like a voice in my head that said it all day long. And every time it said it, it was more meaning. It had more dimension to it. There's nothing to do. And it didn't mean that there's nothing to do as if when a kid says it, oh, Mom, oh, Dad, there's nothing to do. It wasn't that kind of statement. It was more of a lesson from me to me, telling me, don't worry about all the bullshit of life. Don't worry about all the stress, the anxiety, the fucking helicopters, the car alarms, the traffic. Don't worry about none of that shit. There's nothing to do. Don't worry about all the lists that you make and all the responsibilities that you think you have. There's nothing to do. And I went through my day. I didn't just sit around watching the fucking walls all day because my mind told me there was nothing to do. I got responsibilities. I went through my day like a normal day. But it was literally the best day of my entire life. There's never been anything like it ever since, or before that. It was one day in nirvana, and that was the lesson that I learned. Was that there's nothing to do. Instead of being bored and wondering, well, geez, there's nothing to do. What should I do? There's nothing to do. I have to tell myself, there's nothing to do, just relax. Now, this sensation that my buddy got at the gym, that he's talking about being bored. We had to dive deeper, and I realized right away that he wasn't just simply talking about being bored, that he wasn't just simply talking about he didn't have enough stuff to do in his life. You can always find shit to do. You can be bored in a room full of people doing an activity, doing your favorite activity. You could be bored. This sensation of boredom that you get is your soul crying out for meaning. It's your life. It's who you are, that person inside, crying out for purpose. I need a purpose in life. I need a meaning for my life. That's the boredom. That's why you're bored, is because you don't have a purpose and you don't have meaning. You need to find that. The guy at the gym I was talking to, it's oddly enough, he has a purpose. He's just not engaged in it. A lot of people are like this. I know a couple of you out there that are like this. Yeah, I'm calling you out. You have goals that you've told me about. And you're not doing anything towards the goals, are you? It's a fantasy. One of these days, maybe I'll be able to start. My buddy at the gym sat there and expressed to me his dream, how he wants to invest in the Dominican Republic where he came from, and to start a foundation to help impoverished youth and troubled youth in whatever the main city is that he is from, Santiago or whatever it is. So I asked him, why are you bored? You just told me this dream. How could you be bored? Well, get fucking busy, dude. And he was just like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, get busy. Well, he says he can't. Yes, you can. I don't take I can't. I got a whole nother video about I can't. You can go find it. We don't say that shit around here. Yes, you can. You could do something small towards it. And he's like, well, I can't afford to go to the Dominican. Some of this has to happen in the Dominican. I can shoot down every one of your fucking excuses. As Jocko says, Jocko Willenick, if you don't listen to Jocko's podcast, you should go check out Jocko podcast. Jocko says, all your excuses are lies. I remind myself that shit. And that's what I told to my friend. I was like, all your excuses are lies. You have the internet. You could start a lot of this from here. You want to connect with people in the Dominican Republic about starting this foundation? You can start from your bedroom with your laptop. You don't have to go there yet. You can get out a pencil and paper and write out a business plan. You have a business plan yet? You want to start a business? You wrote a business plan yet? Your business plan will kick that snowball down the hill. You'll have to do it. Once you've written that business plan, you'll have to start acting on it. So, you know, all of a sudden he became inspired and was like, wow, yeah, maybe you're right. And of course I'm right. The way to cure your boredom is simply to follow your purpose. So if you're ever sitting around wondering what to do, if you're finding yourself bored with life in general, like my buddy, not just bored for the moment. Oh, I got an hour and a half to kill. I'm really bored. Not like that, but just bored with your life. And then that's the calling. That boredom is a calling from God to get involved, to have a life of purpose. Your purpose, you don't know what your purpose is? You say, Sky, I don't know what my purpose is. I'm going to tell you what your purpose is, and then we're going to end the video here, and you're going to go think about all this shit. Your purpose is to help others. That will give you meaning. Find one of the many ways that you can help another person, and you'll be able to go to bed and rest easy at night. It's not about being happy. Stop trying to chase happiness like some kind of weakling. Chase meaning and purpose. That gets you to bed at night. That gets you out of bed in the morning. That purpose and that meaning. And you'll never be bored. It's all food for thought. Thanks for watching.